Okay, I got the 60 amp breaker installed, well, under there to protect this wiring that goes all the way to the back. So that's tucked into the battery box, and I've removed the passenger side seat, and I'm planning to install my heater in there. So there's a few things to do first. This bar is here to latch the toolkit in, so I have to remove this bar first and then cut into the plastic and then drill a 5-inch diameter hole down through the floor, and that's where my gasoline heater will live. And that's the top of the fuel tank is in there. I'm going to tap into there for gas, and all good. So I should mention that before disconnecting this wiring underneath the seat, you have to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery, because this seat contains an airbag and it has a seatbelt alarms and stuff like that. So disconnect your battery. You don't want to inadvertently trigger an airbag while you're working on the seat. Definitely important. And then reconnect the battery right away so you don't lose too much data or settings or whatever. If you, and I'm speaking from experience here, if you leave the battery disconnected for a month, the van gets really stupid, and the sensors don't know where they are. They don't know what vehicle they're in, and you have to do a proxy realignment, which you can buy a tool, an OBD tool, for like $690. You have to get the professional one, or you take it to the dealer and spend, I think it was $100 to have it reset with a proxy realignment. So don't leave your battery disconnected for a month, just the bare minimum. Okay, there's the bracket. I'll probably never need that again. So now I have to find the positioning of the heater and cut out this foam and then drill my 5-inch hole. Okay, Google, stop. Okay, here's my heater. And I'm not sure I'm going to need this turret type of plate. I think I may have an extra one because I have a flat plate. This is more suited for under the seat. So I mispurchased, as Heather would say. I didn't need to buy that. So okay. So this is the exhaust, I think. Oh no, air direction, this way. Okay, so it blows out this way. So this is the air intake, and I assume it'll sit like this, but maybe not. Maybe it'll, no, I think it will sit this way. And that is one compact little heater. It sure fits there nicely, and that's pretty impressive. So yeah, and I have looked at lots of videos online to confirm this placement. But before I start cutting, I will go in and look at another video just to confirm, because the space under here is there's a heat shield. And is it the exhaust? I think there's some exhaust material. There's a heat shield, so we're coming out on top of a heat shield and have to snake the air intake and the exhaust over that heat shield. But there's space, I know it. So there's between frame members, there's space there. But I just to triple check, I'm going to go look at a video. There's a big bundle of wires there. That's why I'm being super careful. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's the material there. Plastic and foam. That's a bundle of wires, and you know, I think I'll drill a test hole there, pilot hole, and just be 100% sure I've got my spacing right. I don't see any signs of spot welds or anything here, which oh, is that some kind of mat? I don't know. Oh yeah, that's some kind of mat. So I wouldn't see the spot welds anyways. Okay, let me get my flange. So here's the metal flange that comes with the heater, and that's pretty solid. And it comes with a foam gasket and some big self-tapping bolts or screws. Let's see how this is going to go. Yeah, it'd be easy to cut through those wires. Jeez, like if you used an oscillating tool, you'd go right through those. I think I'll release the wires from this clip just to get them out of the way. There was this plastic clip was down here anchoring the wire bundle in place. I just pulled it out with a pair of pliers. So that is garbage. And here's my turret that I bought from Boreal Campers, and you can see it's well, it's the same width actually, but not quite as long. It's more square than the one that came with the heater, but it has the same configuration. And I wonder if this gasket will fit. Well, it will, sort of. Yeah, that'll fit pretty good. So I just saw a video where somebody had one of these turrets, and they used plywood to level up, because this is at a slope. They used plywood to level the heater. So I'm thinking I can use a bit of plywood to level this and to raise it, and then maybe this piece of pipe won't protrude too far down, because there's only about 4 inches of space underneath the floor here before you hit the heat shield. So I'll cut my hole. I'm going to cut my 5-inch hole with my hole saw. This is soft steel. It'll go through that. And I'll see how far this protrudes once I have it leveled. I might have to take my angle grinder and cut a ring off of this steel to shorten it up. We shall see. But you know, that's a pretty good fit right there. That is pretty good how that's going to go. So yeah, okay. I think this is going to be straightforward. I think it's going to be straightforward. I'll just trace an outline to get an idea of where the circle will go. With my Sharpie. Okay. So that's pretty much where my circle will go, and just to make sure, yeah, I mean, there's tons of space here. That's centered front to back, so there's plenty of room to have the duct work come off the back here and to have my air intake in the front. So all good. I guess I should get my drill and my 5-inch hole saw and start cutting. Nerve-wracking. Okay. Okay guys, I got my heavy-duty Makita. We shall see how this works. Fingers crossed. Easy as that. I'm through. Okay. There's no turning back now. Well, look at that. The turret fits perfectly. But the only problem is I can see, that's my heat shield there. I only have that much depth underneath the heat shield, and the turret is that high. So unless I raise the turret up a considerable bit, like an inch, it's going to be too high. I mean, that would be good. Anyways, first of all, I'm going to get a vacuum and vacuum up all these little granules of plastic and metal. You can't have little bits of metal floating around in a van because they will rust. So let me get my vacuum. So I think I'll let that dry overnight, and I might even put a second coat on it tomorrow, just to be 100% sure, 110% sure. Okay, so I am 100% sure that I have to trim this turret down by about half. It's too thick. It's too deep, because it almost reaches the heat shield, and I'm not going to build it up too much. So I will start grinding here, and let's see how I'm going to do this. Well, if this vise will open up enough. No mess. Let's see how. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. That'll do it. And I'll file down those edges a little bit. They're probably sharp. No, not too bad. But I'll file down those edges, and that'll be perfect to drop into that hole. Very good. Okay, so what I can do this evening while I'm waiting for that primer to dry overnight is I can assemble the bottom of the heater. So I can attach it to the plate, and I can fasten the exhaust and the air intake and the fuel line and stuff like that, and then get it ready for tomorrow. I can just insert it in that hole and route the lines. So why not do that? And so that's the plan here. And I'm just going to pick away at this over the next, well, half an hour or so. I'll get back at it in the morning. I've got a bag of fuel line parts, you know, to attach this plastic fuel line. And, you know, clamps for the exhaust and air intake. Everything's really well labeled. Air, exhaust, parts. That's what happens when you get it from a reputable company. I bought this separately. This is a check valve for a fuel line. Because apparently the fuel will travel back. Okay, so I'm going to keep assembling the turret or the plate here that goes to the bottom of the heater. This will flip over, and I'll attach my exhaust and air intake, and I'll attach my fuel line using this little bag of hardware. It has these rubber adapters that connect to this hard plastic fuel line. And I'll basically attach everything that has to go through this hole, through the floor. And then tomorrow, when the paint is dry, I can drop this turret through the hole and then route my exhaust and my air intake and the fuel line and the fuel pump. I'll get things mounted underneath the van. And then the final stage will be the wiring, the power and the control. That's a whole pile of wiring there. I'm not exactly sure why there's so much of it, but there's some really great instructions that come with when you buy a quality unit like this. You get good instructions. So that's my plan for this evening. I'll keep at that. And I think I'll put a little bit of thread locker on there. Just a little drop. There we go. Yeah, I think the exhaust only attaches to one of the pipes, so you can't mess it up. It fits there, and it doesn't fit there. So it fits there, fits at the heat output, not on that one. Okay. Okay. And I love using little plastic containers to keep my parts and hardware in. Here it is, that's a 10mm. Nope, smaller. Oh no, that's 12. Wow. And the exhaust outlet from this heater is heavy duty steel, so I don't have to worry about crushing anything. I can feel it pretty snug. And it's critical to have it on there tightly so that it's not coming off. Okay, that's not coming off ever. And there's a 7mm for the air intake. Tighten that up with the screwdriver a bit first. Anytime you're working with the screwdriver and your palm is facing this way, it's important not to be pushing, because odds are that screwdriver is going to slip and ow, you're going to have an owie. So I'm just torquing it, I'm not pushing it. Okay. I have to pinch that down a little bit. And I have a 7mm wrench here. And again, I don't have to worry about crushing anything because the pipe for the combustion air intake is also heavy duty. I don't know what dimension it is, but you know, 1/16 of an inch or something. I mean, it's pretty thick. It's this plate steel, which is two millimeters. Well, the dog's worked up about something. This is a really good quality hose clamp here too. It's not like the cheap Canadian Tire plumbing clamps. And that is as snug as can be. Okay, great. Penny. Okay, I'm gonna leave my fuel line for tomorrow. It's getting on 8:45, so bedtime soon.